I wander today to the hills, Maggie.
John McDermott is a performer who knows all about happy accidents. He grew up singing but had rarely sung in public until he belted out with pride an impromptu rendition of Danny Boy at a company party. That launched his musical career. John McDermott is in Vancouver to perform with the marvelous VSO, the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra. He dropped into Studio 4 to perform for us this morning.
Now some people call me a dreamer, as if dreamer is a dirty word. Say I sing a song that few still believe in, and that fewer still have even heard. Say I'm living in a time that is over, and not in the real world of today. That we need more doers and less dreamers, and that folks like me just get in the way. I dream of a world without hunger. I dream of a world without war, where we live at peace on this earth together, where the air tastes sweet and the rivers all run clear. Dream it first and it will happen. If you don't believe that it can, just leave me to my dream, 'cause I'm happy just where I am. Say I'm living in a time that is over, and not in the real world of today. That we need more doers and less dreamers, and that folks like me just get in the way. Well, I dream of a world without hunger. I dream of a world without war, where we live at peace on this earth together, where the air tastes sweet and the rivers all run clear. Dream it first and it will happen. If you don't believe that it can, just leave me to my dream, 'cause I'm happy just where I am. Yes, I'm happy just where I am.
Well, what a way to start the morning. It is my pleasure to welcome John McDermott back.
That was easy.
That was easy. Thanks for coming in early, singing. In fact, the producer said to me, he won't sing. It's too early in the morning. I said, he'll sing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Never a doubt. Never a doubt.
No.
You look great.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
You too, darling.
Thank you.
So you don't have any kids either. This book was written for you. You've got, what,
No,
dogs and cats?
I got three dogs. Three dogs, all different personalities, and great company. So
there.
I can do no wrong with my dogs.
Well, that's why you're an international recording artist, methinks.
Yeah.
Take me back, and I know you've done this before, but to the first time you belted out Danny Boy at the company party.
Oh gosh, back in the late 80s. And that just led to, the encouragement to record something and then record the Danny Boy album for my parents' 50th, and a friend sent it to EMI, and the rest is history. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, as you once sang, old trees grow strong.
Old
Something
trees
like
grow
that.
stronger, yeah.
Grow stronger.
Yep, yeah.
Old trees grow stronger.
Yeah, and rivers grow wider every day.
Do you write much of your music?
I have now. This last recording, this last CD has a number of songs that are very, very personal. Bringing Buddy Home, which is a tribute to the young men and women who have paid the ultimate sacrifice in Afghanistan, and how they are brought home, and trying to get the message to people that their sacrifice should be recognized.
Yes.
The Merry Road to Hell is a song about my brother Michael. I mean, Michael was a brilliant man, but he could not give up the booze, and he drank himself to death. It was he died he died on his 49th birthday. So there's a lot of songs. Late to the End of the Road is a song I wrote about my dad. So it's a very personal recording.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I remember when you did, I think it was called A Night to Remember.
A Time to Remember. Time to Remember.
Time to Remember.
You're thinking what was it? A Night to Remember was the movie about the Titanic.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's A Night to Forget.
But Time to Remember was that was going back where I had my my goddaughter singing with me on that one.
On television.
When I Grow Too Old to Dream. Yeah. And that goes back 2000.
You see? I've lived long.
Hey, we both have.
Yes, we have. Can you imagine your life without music?
No.
In any way?
No, and to think that would I ever be in this position where it was music? No, not at all. I mean, I'm back. We're really, really enjoying it now again. It got to a point there where I thought maybe it was time to, and the infusion I got from a brilliant musician, Jason Fowler, and a great band. We just changed up players, and we have some, George Kohler, who was with Lorena McKennett and Holly Cole for years. We've got Gary Craig, who was with Anne Murray for 28 years, and Anne retired, so I grabbed him. And
of course you did.
And we've got great musicians, and it's just exciting and fun again. It's really fun to do it.
The business of the music business, it's about grabbing talent. There's no question. So Anne Murray's not doing something with this guy, and you grab him.
For sure, absolutely.
Jason Fowler was here this morning. He was
Jason
one of the
was
guitarists.
here with Brian and McMillan, And,
now tell me about those boys.
Brian's an extraordinary talent, great talent. He's married, one child, has them here in Vancouver with us, brought the family out, 3 months old, and has a cookie named after him. His wife is in the cookie business.
Really? He has a Brian cookie?
He does. And a Mackie, I think it's called.
Oh.
And Jason's a very, very highly sought after musician, but I know his loyalty is right where it should be with me. And
of course. Well, he's played with you since
played
what? 2001, something like
10 years.
that?
10 years.
How do you pick a good guitar player? Doing what you do. You're a tenor. You could sing at the opera, you can sing with the symphony orchestra, or you can just mix it up in a bar.
No, there's just so much talent out there, but I think I was very fortunate. Again, I got so lucky, with musicians that came along. My first fiddler was Ashley McIsaac.
No.
So, how do you go wrong from that? When Ashley left, I hired another fiddler, Natalie McMaster.
Gee.
And so, and then when Natalie left, I hired Ray Legere. So it just got better. And I was in the right place in the right time again, and very lucky, just fortunate. And Jason was... he was in the right place. I was in the right place at the right time, and the fellow, Bill Bridges, who you've met, Bill, my old guitar player. Bill knew about Jason and recommended him. So,
you have a bit of musical kismet.
Oh, lucky.
You sure do, lucky. But Ashley McIsaac, haven't played with him lately, I guess.
I haven't, but Ashley's. I think Ashley's back on track. But no question, Ashley is, in my opinion, the best fiddler in the country. So I challenge anybody to that. I know. I've seen what he could do. I saw what he could do when he was 17 years old, and you don't lose that talent. No. He's just a brilliant musician.
He can make Turkey in the Straw sound pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Yes, he can. How many kids in your original family?
12.
With Hope
12
and...
incredibly adorable children. Hope and Peter.
And Peter, right.
Yeah.
12 kids.
I got his voice and my mother's looks. So.
Well, it all works.
Gorgeous woman.
Look at that family. My gosh.
There it is. Yeah, this is the last Christmas in Glasgow, 1965.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they all sang, I bet.
Well, everybody sang, but they did.
Somehow
everybody sang. My brother Anthony was tone deaf, so we tolerated his singing because he was so in love with the song he was singing. He was all over the map, but he just loved what he was doing. So
it's about the passion.
It is.
You know that.
Totally. And my dad does. I do what I do in the shows now. I tell the story of the song before I sing it because that's the way my dad used to perform, and he
Yeah.
always made sure if you can find out where it came from, tell the
Sure.
audience about it. Yeah.
Well, I remember on one of your albums, and I hope I'm right. It's not this one. I dug this one
Yeah,
out.
my dad's the last track
Today.
on that album.
Maybe it is this one. It's The Last Rose of...
Last Rose of Summer. He's
Summer.
That's in it, singing in a bar in 1958.
That's right. And you put you and him together on...
Well, I know, I just put him on it.
Is it just him?
It's just him that closes the album.
I didn't
and I had
listen
people
to
call
it
me and say,
again.
there's something wrong with the last track. And I said, no, it's just my dad. It's my dad
It's
in
just my dad.
1958.
How great. Love is a Voyage. This is
Yeah.
a great album. And your last one was...
Journeys. The
Journeys.
new album is Journeys, and that's being used to raise money for palliative care, the renovation and expansion of palliative care in across the country. Our initial McDermott House Canada Foundation has just been formed, so it's mcdermotthousecannada.org. And the foundation is raising funds that will, first project is the Sunnybrook Hospital in the Veterans Wing at Sunnybrook, where they have a palliative care unit that is in desperate need of renovation and expansion. So we're going to do that. We're
How
going to make
great.
the rooms more private and personal, where they can celebrate their lives. And the welcoming areas will be done, and we'll add 8 more beds.
great.
Once we're done with that, we'll move on to other projects. And we've actually had, people from Vancouver and from Victoria call us to get them on our radar, and certainly we will.
What is your connection to veterans, aside from
Well,
being patriotic
Well, my
and
dad
loving
was
the country?
my dad was a veteran. He was a tail gunner World War II, based in Belgium. My mom's brother, my uncle Michael, died as a POW at Changi Camp, the camp where the River Kwai guys were held. And the 3 cousins killed in Vietnam. But there's always been a quiet, celebration and acknowledgement of veterans in our family. And my dad asked me that, and I remember in 1994, and it was November of '94, he recognized that there was some success possibly coming, and he says, if you do have any success, give back. Give back to this country that's given us so much, and if you can, give it back to the veterans who have given us this country.
You sure are doing that, bringing Buddy home. Written by you, dedicated to Canadian soldiers in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Tell me about the song.
There was a conversation after a show. We went to relax and have a beer after a show one night, and there were 3 young men at the end of the bar, and they were talking, passing the evening, and one of them looked up at the television and said, look at that, guys, 3 more killed in Afghanistan. And in the same breath, turned to his pals and said, who won the game? And it kind of caught me. I said, well, what happened? So I went over to talk, and when he turned away from the TV, it was over, it finished. That was just television. Who won the game? And you explain, the song is trying to explain to them that the families and the loved ones and the extended families of these young men and women who die, they can't turn off the TV. They can't turn away and not have it from now on, someone that this young life has touched will feel a pain for the rest of their lives. And so how do you explain to them what the family is going through? And so that is what the song does.
Bringing
the song tells you that
home.
from the moment that young soul is placed on the back of a C-17, that giant aircraft, all by themselves, and flown back to Trenton to continue their final journey, that's what we have to explain. And I think the song does it very, very clearly.
I know it does it very, very clearly. Now, that Vancouver Symphony Orchestra waiting for you to rehearse, I bet.
VSO with Jeff Tizik. Yeah, I've worked with Jeff in the past, and it's been a few years since I've worked with the VSO, and they are a superb symphony, superb players, great organization, great people. Joanne Harada down. They're just, and all through it. They're wonderful. It's going to be exciting.
You
and
bet.
back at the Orpheum, which is the first theater I performed in BC, yeah.
Well, and I know you wander around after because the fans love you, and you kind of wander off the stage. I'm sure your manager is saying, "John, let's go for dinner."
He tries. We'll go to the
Okay,
lobby
two
before and after the show.
performances.
2, one tonight, 8 o'clock.
One tomorrow
and
night,
one tomorrow
8 o'clock,
8 o'clock.
Orpheum.
Right.
Thank you.
Fanny, thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.